the show. Everybody is Dee. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into some things. I hope you're ready, cause this is what I do. It's all about different perspectives in here. Where you gon' get the real, no BS in here. We keep it real as we can. You can tell your truth and feel comfortable here. These reactions, videos and lives. These reactions, she's about to put on a show. These reactions, just to let you know, like, share, subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Keep it real, keep it these reactions. What you gon' do? DeeDee's reactions. We about to go live. Subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Welcome to the show. Everybody is Dee. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into some things. I hope you're ready, cause this is what I do. It's all about different perspectives in here. Where you gon' get the real, no BS in here. We keep it real as we can. You can tell your truth and feel comfortable here. These reactions, videos and lives. These reactions, she's about to put on a show. These reactions, just to let you know, like, share, subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Keep it real, keep it these reactions. What you gon' do? DeeDee's reactions. We about to go live. Subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl, Dee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. So happy Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everyone is doing great. Thank y'all so much for being here. Listen, as you come into the building, per usual, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. That is super important, y'all. Hit the like button as you come into the building. All right? Also, if you are new to the channel and you like the content, but you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, y'all. Also, share and like the stream as well. So as you come into the building, hit the like button. Also, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me good. 1 in the chat if you can hear me good, y'all. Shout out to everybody watching. What's going on, Successful MD? How you been? Lorenzo Redmond, what's going on? How y'all doing? Hoping all is well with y'all. Hope y'all been blessed and you know, healthy and thriving. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching, you guys. Y'all, I'm not feeling that good, but I am here, so I'm not gonna keep y'all too long, y'all. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I wanted to pop up here really quickly and just give my 2 cents on a couple of things, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it as well. So that's why I'm here. So make sure you guys are chiming in the chat. Also support the channel via Super Chat or Cash App if you are able to. Also, excuse me. Also, make sure you support the channel in any way possible by hitting the like button. Also, if you want to purchase merchandise, that link is in the description. If you want to support the channel, you can support in those different ways. All right. So make sure you are doing that if you enjoy the content, y'all. All right, y'all. So listen, I'm back. Happy Friday. It is Friday already. Shout out to y'all. Y'all see the title, Modern Woman Pregnant by Inmate, baby. Y'all already should know how I feel about that. But, you know, to each his own. People do what they want to do. Plus, Glorilla exposed by her sister. I want to get into the Glorilla situation first, and then we're going to get into this woman who is pregnant by an inmate, and we're going to talk about, she's going to talk about the backlash that she is getting, how people are calling her stupid and all this kind of stuff. Listen, baby, make sure you know what you're doing, girl. That's, I mean, hell, I mean, but the story is so crazy, and I'm going to play the parts of that story. I saw this the other day. I saw it actually last week, and then I saw another YouTuber talking about it, and I was like, damn, it's already on my radar. And so I want to talk about it and get y'all thoughts on it. because, are we in desperate times now? It's becoming really desperate. As much as women, out here talking about they don't need a man, we know the whole BS. We don't need a man. We independent. Men are suffering in silence, and the women are just like, the women are so happy when a lot of them are not. So there are a lot of people unhappy. That's what it's just life. People be happy sometimes they're not. It's the ebbs and flows of life. Nobody's sitting around 100% happy or sad all the time. You go through different emotions and feelings and just life in general. So it's just this whole men versus women thing is just becoming outrageous, and it's getting out of hand because there are a lot of men and women who experience some of the same things and some of the same emotions. They just handle them differently. And yeah, men and women are not the same, but we're all human. And I think this whole, I feel like there's this race for, especially with women, to prove that they're better than men. I think that's been a thing for quite some time, that women have been in this race to prove that they're better than men. And when they can't really prove it, or it's not solidified, they hate men even more. You know what I mean? That's what I see. Now, two things could be true at the same time, but I feel like women, are like have this mindset, like I gotta be better. I gotta prove that I'm better than a man, that a man is beneath me. Like it I don't know. It makes them feel good to feel like they're better than a man. It's just the stupidest thing ever. And what are you winning? What prize are you getting for that? It's just leaving y'all bitter, single, and lonely, and confused. It's just ridiculous. And I've watched a lot of videos and a lot of conversations about this. And really, there's no prize to win. Nobody's waiting at the finish line to give you a big medal to say, oh, congrats, you are better than a man. Good for you. Nobody's waiting at the finish line to tell you that or reward you for that type of behavior, because it's silly. We're all here to work together. And if you don't understand that, and you think you want to stand on this moral high ground of being better than any person who does that, in my opinion, whether it be male or female. But I feel like, and I see a lot of times that women, because they felt inferior to men, they have to prove or overcompensate. This is why you find women who are in places of power. I don't know how I get here, y'all, but just let me cook. Because I be going on a tangent, and sometimes I be like, girl, that ain't even the topic. But anyway, that's the benefits of having your own thing going, so you can do that. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all feeling what I put down, okay? But I don't know. I be going off, and I don't be knowing how I get there. But anyway, let me finish this, then we're gonna move on to the real topic. I don't know what be going on anyway. A lot is in his head. All right. So, and I be seeing things when I'm off camera, like I be witnessing some things, and then when I get on here, it just start coming out. I think that's what it is. But yeah, I see women who are, they're in this race to try to prove that they're better than men. And I just think it's stupid. I think it's dumb. But if that's what you want to do, girl, go ahead. More power to you, because it ain't my life. You got to live it. But it's like, and they can never really solidify that. They can never really prove that they're better than men. This is why when you have women who are in the workforce and they're in positions of power, they overcompensate, because they have to prove that they're just as good as the man, or if not better. And they have to prove that, and they constantly have to prove that they're better. And then you do that over a course of some years, and it wears you out. And then at the end of the day, you're left with nothing. That's all you have. And then all of that work that you put in to prove that you're better, nobody's giving you a medal at the end. They'll still fire you just like they'll fire anybody else. And I think this is what a lot of women are witnessing and realizing, and it's becoming very difficult for them to accept. A lot of the things that women are seeing is difficult for them to accept the reality, because they live in this delusional world, which I don't think I don't think that that's a good thing. You know what I mean? So I just be trying to give a little bit of my 2 cents to say, listen, hey, you can be, if you have dreams and aspirations of doing things, you can do them, but you don't have to take on that mindset that you have to be better than a man. You could be good and good at what you do in your own right, and be comfortable and satisfied and secure in that, but still understand the role of a man, and still be submissive to a man. Submission to a man does not mean you can't have accomplishments and you can't have goals and you can't be a person. I don't understand where that's come from. You still are a human being with your own thoughts and your own mindset, but it has to be related to what the man's goal is. And if it's all encompassing and he's okay with what you're doing and he understands you and you understand him and y'all understand the dynamics and the roles in your relationships, it shouldn't be a problem. But I think when women want to be better than men, the focus is on being better than a man, it's going to be difficult for you to have a solid relationship. Hence the reason why so many successful women are single, because they don't know how to, that, you know, their goal is you would be in competition with your man. You will be in competition with him. And I found that relationships where they're competing with each other, they don't necessarily work. But anyway, I don't know how I get there. But let's move on to the topic. So, modern woman pregnant by inmate plus Glorilla exposed by her sister. I want to get into the Glorilla situation really quick, as to why what she's exposing or what's really happening with that, because she's talking about Glorilla, and Glorilla is not helping their family. And I want to know what y'all thoughts are about this. Do you think that when somebody in the family becomes rich or becomes famous or whatever, making a little money, that it's their obligation to take care of their entire families? I want to know y'all thoughts on that. So definitely chime in on this whole thing. I want to pull it up because her sister is really going in. She's really going in, and I thought it was interesting. And this, this is not my first time seeing stuff like this, but I thought this one was interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hit the like button, y'all. We're gonna hop into the Glorilla video first. Here we go.
I'm talking about y'all favorite rapper. Y'all favorite rapper ain't shit, and I'm getting tired of it. Y'all mad. Fuck, y'all talking about some she ain't obligated. How the fuck she ain't obligated when she want to sit here and all them interviews and talk about the struggles we been through and then reach back and help none of us out, but got her friends around and shit. And my mama still working at FedEx. Y'all better get the fuck out of my face.
Hey, fuck, how we used to have days when we wasn't eating. But motherfucker ain't obligated. But you want to get on interviews and talk about the struggle. You want to talk about the struggle. But yeah, ain't one of us shining, fool. Ain't one of us shining. You got everybody else in this hole. You giving money out. You bringing motherfuckers back around. You didn't cross you badly because Sanchez watch you get your ass beat. Oh God. Watch you get your ass stomped. And I remember when Kalia did this shit. She watched you. And you brought her back around. And she went live about you. And you brought her back around. She on the stage with you. How the fuck is that fair?
What Kalia with that? Let them know what Kalia.
The Kalia that brought her. Yup. Yup.
Kalia get banned?
Yeah, good get banned. Kalia get banned. Kalia get banned. But you got Sanchez back around you. Like, bro, I'm just saying, no motherfucker come out some hate shit, bro. It's been 4 motherfucking years, bro. It's been 4 years. Then I'm seeing motherfuckers like, no, bro, then mama sitting here in this whole struggle. Y'all thought she bought a house. She did not buy my mama no motherfucking house. Stop lying. She did not. She bought my daddy a house with his trick ass. And then he got the smallest house on the block. Fuck. Talking about she retired. That man retired on his own time and she didn't retire shit. On God. Fuck. And now y'all know what Gloss did, how did she got, man, so look, all of us been struggling. We was homeschooled. All of us stayed in the same house, 3 through 7, they darn right homeschool, could not come out the fence. We could not come out the fence, bro. You remember? You remember, right? We could come out the fence. I used to sneak my best friend inside the motherfucking house. When all of us, when we got adult, we became adults. We was like stupid to the street life. We was stupid to like common sense because we was like segregated. We was in the house. My mama used to tell us, it's 10 of y'all. Y'all better be each other's best friend.
Now, oh my God. So they were homeschooled. Okay, I understand homeschool. My kids were homeschooled. Yeah. But how do you become stupid to common sense? What so I'm an advocate for homeschooling your children if that's the position that you're in, and if that's something that you want to do. That is something that I talk about and kind of advocate for, especially for for parents who don't trust the public school system, or if for whatever reason you think you want to homeschool. I think it's a good thing if you do it the right way. There are some people who don't believe in homeschool and think, oh my God, the kids ain't gonna learn nothing. If you don't teach them, they won't learn anything. And there's different ways to do it now. There's, where you have, I remember initially, cause I've been at home, stay at home mom for the entirety of my children's lives. So, I thought homeschool would be better. And the reason is because my son, when he was like in first grade, kindergarten, first, he left the school. So that scared the shit out of me. Basically, I'm like, oh hell, that terrified me that he was able to leave, go out the classroom and go to the front of the school to leave out. That terrified me. So that's part of the reason why we took our kids out of school and homeschool, for safety reasons. Because I'm like, why would a kindergarten or first grader be able to walk out of the school like that with nobody watching him or not even noticing it? That was scary to me. So I'm like, oh hell no. So it was mainly partly for safety reasons, and just, to know that my children are safe. And that was probably the start of it. And, so that we can teach them the things that we want to teach them, having establishing a curriculum, but also teaching them other things as well. And they learn a lot of different things that in school they probably wouldn't have even learned. So just opening them up to other stuff, and they have good common sense. But anyway, I don't know how to get on that. It's 11 of them, right? 10 or 11 of them, a big family. My thing is, how do you expect her, off of the money that she makes, how do you expect her to take care of all 10 of her siblings and her mother and her mom and dad and possibly others? I don't think people realize the weight that you're putting on a person to have to be responsible for the entire family. Oh my God. And then I don't think a lot of people, coming from any community, understands what that money looks like, and the amount of money that these people are actually taking home. Because in these rap songs and in this music, they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting money, I'm rich, B, and I'm this and that. But are you really? Because there are a lot of people in the entertainment business who are not rich. They're probably more of that than the ones that are rich, that actually have millions of dollars in their bank account. You would be surprised how many of your favorite artists and people, actors that you see on television, who don't have the amount of money that you might think that they have. And if you pay attention to when they're talking, they allude to it. But there's this I don't know. I mean, there's this facade, I guess they want them to put up to make it more enticing for people to want to get into the music business or the entertainment business, maybe for the glitz and glam of it, and the idea of you getting rich. It takes them years, a lot of times, to get to a level of where they're actually making a substantial amount of money. And some majority of actors, especially, and singers, don't ever get to that status. And we're talking about a rapper, Glorilla, who she's talking about in 4 years. It's been 4 years now. She expects Glorilla to be able to pay for her 10 siblings, give all of them money, take that to mom and dad, as if she has it like that. And I guarantee you, Glorilla is not able to do that. Oh my God. People don't understand money, how much money they're making, how much money they got to pay out, the taxes that has to be paid on that. Then you have to take care of yourself. You have to pay people, you have to pay your bills, you have to do all this it's not always as easy as you may think. People see you on TV and they think, oh my God, in the videos, and they like, oh my God, you got your face did, you know, Glorilla got a face done, got her teeth done, all of these things. And you just think, oh my God, she got it like that. She could take care of. No, a lot of times they cannot. They cannot. I'm just gonna say that, but let's continue.
Oh God. Situation had came about where we end up going to school because my mom used to beat the shit out of us, and you ain't finna beat the shit out of me while I'm hungry, so I'm finna call DCS on your ass. That's exactly what happened. When she talk about the fifth child, I'm the fifth child because I'm always been the outspoken one. But I was hungry, and you not finna whoop me for being hungry. Fuck. She used to beat the shit out of us. On God. So when she did all that shit, I called DCS. Yes, I called DCS. I called DCS on our mother. I got tired again.
Hey, everybody. So we celebrate my dad for his retirement. So how long is 30 years? 29 years at the post office. Hey! I'm pretty sure the post office appreciate all your hard work. You know I appreciate your hard work. You spoke beautiful girl. So I got a gift for you for your retirement party. You gotta come out back. I got a gift for you.
Can't block the band. I would love for one of my kids to pop, but do your parents, do they still working all that?
My dad still be working, but I be begging him to retire, but he just don't want to. Like he got it, like he got it set. Like no, I gotta reach my 30-year mark. Like I mean, I'm super big on God, and so like my mama, she be like, what can I do for you, like? Cause you know I pay my own bills, I pay my parents' bills. What can I do to help you? I be like, just pray for me, like, and keep me in your prayers,
right?
And I just feel like this gonna always, long I got God on my side. So you know, she can seem slow at one point, but like they say, he might not come when you want him, but he gonna always be there. So I just feel like long as I'm staying prayed up and I'm actually doing the work and I'm actually speaking what I want into existence and actually going for it, it's nothing that can stop me.
Now where the fuck that date at? My mama don't even text like that. Our mama don't text like that. Where the fuck that date at? You mad because you got exposed to everything coming to the light. She still working at FedEx. A manager just inboxed me. Appreciate that, manager. Take care of my mama while you there. She go to work from 3 to 5 or 3 to 6. Stop lying. I know it ain't gonna be me no more. It probably never was gonna be me. Y'all want me to sit here in silence? Everywhere I go. Oh, you look like Lo. Oh, you sound like her. You even laugh like her. I'm talking about, you know how embarrassing it is to be at the club, mother. That's Glossa, and I walk outside to a Malibu bitch. Y'all don't know how embarrassing that is. I gotta sit here and fly. It's like, yeah, this is my other car. You know what I'm saying? The other one in the garage, a Cordova, in the, yeah. Fuck. Do you know how this shit feel? Them folks said, bitch, you have my whole face.
What does that mean? Oh my God, y'all, listen, this is some ghetto shit. I ain't gonna lie. What? Huh? What type of mentality is that? Okay, so your sister make it, and now she's supposed to buy you expensive cars and keep you up and all that. She'll be broke as hell. Where they do that at? Now look, I'm not opposed to you making it and helping your family in certain ways if you can, but she's not the obligation, the entitlement. If y'all had, she mentioned how they grew up, and Glorilla talked about it, and they had mattresses on the floor and they had roaches and all this kind of stuff. That ain't her fault. You got to look into your parents for that. The parents are the one who are responsible to take care of their children. She's not your parent. She's not obligated to do anything for you. That's the part. That's the entitled part that I don't understand. That she's not obligated. If she wants to help you in a way, that's up to her. And even if she helps you, it doesn't have to be consistent. And this is the problem. We've had many celebrities come out and talk about how they've given money to their families and how they've supported them over the years. And then when they end up broke, those families can't turn around and help them. I mean, I've heard lots of celebrities talk about how they went broke helping their family, and it's never enough. Once you start, you got to keep that up, because they always going to look to you, and they don't do anything to come up on themselves. You got to figure out, you find a way to get yourself to a financial stable place But you are an adult. You're not a child and you're not her child. I don't understand that. I mean, she has bills. You know, what's the Spider-Man slogan or whatever? Great responsibility. What is it? How does it go? Hey, how does the Spider-Man thing go? Much response, something I can't think right now. With great responsibility comes something. What is it? Do y'all know? I mean, she has if she's in a position to take care of herself, Glorilla, and make some money, but she got bills to pay. To whom much is given, much is required. So you just can't sit there and, think that she just have money to blow on you. She won't have anything left for herself. And that's her money. That's her life. That's not, your siblings aren't obligated to take care of you. That's crazy to me. But, these are the entitlements that a lot of people have. They think you owe them something because she was living that life too. She was sleeping on the floor with the rats and the roaches too. Like who gonna give her something? Y'all were in that together. She's not your mother. Great power comes with great responsibility, right? Thank you, Lorenzo. Yeah. What's going on? The World Class 9. How are you? Let's continue.
But see, y'all ain't understanding this shit. Her success is our success, bitch. Whether y'all like it or not. But she want to act like it's not.
It's not.
So now, Gloria, you pushed me to this shit. Y'all talking about why you bring this shit on the internet. How long have it been? How long have it been? 4 years, right? When is this bitch? She probably gonna sacrifice me.
Look this way, bitch. I told you don't go live.
I told you not to do this shit neither, but she probably already is sacrificing.
I'm hit Illuminati. Yeah, Illuminati.
They look at him. The people in the back like, I told you not to do this shit. They jumping ship already. They're like, I told you not to go live. I told you not to do this, girl. It's on you now. They backing away. They like, we ain't a part of this shit. No, dang. They already jumping ship. Like, we told you not to do it, and you did it anyway, baby. Hannibal Africanus, thank you for the super chat. Says, if there are 10 siblings, come together to start a BBQ restaurant in Memphis. Something like the go-to big glow for a business loan with a guaranteed return / profit. Good idea. Exactly. Come up with a business plan, something. But a lot of these people aren't business savvy. That's the thing. They just think, oh, you make some money. You made it. Now you got to just give us all some money. Like, and don't understand how this works. 4 years, that's not a long enough time in that business to really accumulate enough money to really sustain yourself long term. 4 years is not long enough in that business. Hell, you put out an album the first year. A lot of times you don't even make any money off that first album. You have to put out a second or a third album to actually, and it has to be successful for you to actually see a return. So I don't know. They don't know how it works. They just think you just a cash cow now, and they see you with, getting things done, not understanding. A lot of times they get, they get a black card. They put this on credit, and sometimes it's it's either credit they're using or a combination of the two, and then they might get the sign on or sign in bonus money or whatever, and they don't even give you that anymore. They don't even give you a lot of that anymore. So a lot of times they be taking out loans and they're using credit to get these things, and they have to pay that back. So they really don't be having the funds to really do all what they expect. And they might could buy you a car, or someone be leasing those cars, or give you a little money here and there, but they can't take care of you. What's going on, Supreme Nerd? How are you? What's going on, Classy? Thank you, Hannibal Africanus. I agree with you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Make sure you guys are supporting the channel, y'all, via super chat or Cash App. I really would appreciate it. All right. Yeah, but this is crazy. And hit the like button. Hit the like button. However many people we have in here, we should have that many likes, y'all. So go ahead and hit the like button, please. Let's continue.
Yeah, the bitch still in Memphis. It ain't hard to find her. She look just like me. She probably gonna sacrifice my ass. I ain't gonna lie.
She gonna call your guy.
Shit crazy how a motherfucker get some little money in that pocket. And let's not forget, bitch, We had a cousin with you, and you booted her out the group because you claimed some money came up missing. But I think it's just you don't want family with you. Let's talk about it.
But why?
You killed?
But why is that? Is the family toxic? I mean, if they're talking like the way she's talking, shit, I would probably not want to be around that either. You trying to make a better life for yourself. You don't want to be pulled back. Sometimes family is the worst. Sometimes family are the ones that hold you back and hold you down and always asking for money. While you out here trying to make money, they constantly asking because they see the glitz and glam and they're like, dang, give me some. You're not willing to work for it. This is why I like when I see celebrities who hire their sisters. You know, Mary J. Blige hired her sister. A lot of artists have their family members working for them because at least give them a job. At least they have a job to earn the money and, you know, not just sitting back begging. Because when you don't have to work for something, it's easy for you to expect people to just constantly give it to you when you don't have to work for it. But when you got to get out here and work for your money and you got to do the difficult things and whatever comes with that you don't want to just hand it out to people. Ain't no handouts. Work for it. So I like when I see a lot of celebrities hire their brothers, sister, their siblings to work for them and they put them on the payroll. So yeah, you have a job to do. And if you don't do that job, you won't get fired, just like any other job. You know what I mean? So maybe do that. But if y'all just sitting back begging, I mean, nobody don't want to have to deal with that. Stressful on anybody. Let's continue though.
Our cousin that was with you, you booted out the group, claiming that she stole some money from you. You claim she did this shit, bro. And you got our 2 siblings down there being fucking slaves.
What?
Begging for $40 on the phone bill, bitch. You don't remember?
She talking.
Oh, fuck. Talking about some Indeed.com. Right, that's what I said. But this hoe up and at it. This hoe up and at it. But y'all want to talk about me. I wasn't even finna go live no more. I was just finna do interviews on the sorry ass bitch. I wasn't finna go live no more. That's all I finna do was a couple of pieces of interviews. That's it. That's all. But now all of a sudden, why she won't speak? It's been 4 years, bro. I'm seeing my sister on the big screen with Brandon Ingram. She with a basketball player. She ain't even making music no more for y'all. And she ain't even trying to make a tune, a piano, a guitar, nothing for y'all. She with Brandon Ingram. Fuck. Talking about some Indeed.com. Yeah, bitch. Oh, that mean you watching, bitch. That mean you watching, hoe. Fuck. You just mad because all that shit getting out. You better stop fucking paying me if I call Clea on your stupid ass. The one that stomped you with them Timberlands, bitch. Stop playing with me, ho. Oh, God. I know you got in 3-4 fights with her and still lost. So, bitch, that yeah, Sanchez sat there and watch you, bitch. Let's talk about it. Talking about some Indeed.com. This all really trying to get off. What you mad because everything you haven't done coming to the light? Is that why you mad? I don't give no fuck about being labeled as no love. Because if Finesse doing some lame ass shit like that shit wrong. I don't give no fuck. On God, I don't. Talking about some Indeed.com. Yeah, bitch. Now the whole motherfucking world know how you is, ho. Indeed that.
Indeed that, baby. Listen. I don't think this looks bad on Glorilla. I really don't. I think the sister is making a mockery of herself. Which I see a hater. She seems like the hater. She seems jealous. She's mad because her sister won't just give her money. That her sister is not just handing her money just freely. That's her career. That's her life. you know, and it seems like she's mad because she can't afford her own life. She can't, you know, do what her sister is doing. And now you're just mad and thinking that you're exposing her. But I mean, it's not really exposing her. It doesn't make any sense. Most people, you know, they're saying Indeed.com. That means go get a job. Your sister is not responsible to take care of you. That's not her responsibility whatsoever. She made a decision, or however it went to get in that position. That's her money. She's not obligated to take care of you and buy you cars and set you up for life. How y'all think that y'all would be back broke sleeping on mattresses if she did that? And y'all don't contribute to her livelihood. You don't contribute to her success in any way. So she can't even depend on you if she fell off. If she fell off giving you all of her money, you can't even help her get back to that place. All y'all just would be in that position then. You know, I watched Keisha Cole, and shout out to Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole did the same thing with her family. They, you know, she helped them out and did a lot for them. And, you know, it's never ending. You can't keep doing that because you will end up broke. And once again, once you're broke, the cash cow, nobody can help you. They don't have the means or any type of ability to come and help you to get back there. So I don't think that that's something that you should do. You know, and I understand that like I said, there's nothing wrong with if you can help your family out with something, especially if they're trying to help themselves. If they're trying to help themselves and you're adding to something that they're already working on and is beneficial, then I could see supporting something that's going to be beneficial that could help them help themselves, not just giving money out that you're never going to see a return on. No, that's not helpful to you when you have the bulk of the responsibilities. You make a lot of money, but you also got to spend a lot. You probably have higher taxes. You probably have a family and yourself to take care of. You're living in a place where it's super expensive, but you need to be there because that's where the work is. You have people that you have to pay way more than any of what your family have ever been exposed to. A lot of these people have not been exposed to the type of money that these people end up having to spend. You've never seen the type of money that they've become accustomed to. And you just think that they just got thousands and thousands of dollars just to spend on you and buy you shit like it's Christmas all year round. No. To whom much is given, much is required. Your responsibilities become higher, and so now you can't afford to just hand money out just freely like that. No, you can't do that. You know, you can't do that. And she's saying she's lying about taking care of parents. Well, I mean, the parents didn't come out and say anything. I mean, you know, that's another thing. I mean, to me, and it's just my opinion, y'all. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. Once again, your parents raised you and took care of you, provided a roof over your head, you know, and then once you become an adult, you are responsible to take care of yourself at that point. You know, people feel like, oh, you know, you owe something to your parents and stuff like that. And I get it. Usually if you were raised well, and you respect and love your parents, and then when you get older, your children will be more inclined to take care of you and in your old age and stuff. And I think that's a blessing. But if you are an adult and you're not in a position to do that, I don't think that that's a slight towards your parents. I don't think, because your parents decided to have you. It was their choice, and their responsibility is to take care of you till you become an adult. Once you become an adult, the responsibility is on you. Now you have to be responsible for any family that you create. And your responsibility to your children is from birth to adulthood. And then, you know, and even still, when you're 18 is the you know, the legal age as when you're considered an adult, right? But even then, we still take care of our kids even past that. You still be taking care of them. So it's not just that cut and dry for a lot of people. You know, 18, you know, we ain't putting you out on the street. We still providing a roof over your head. We still feeding you. We still doing all these things for you. So it even goes past that. But once you get out on your own and you have your own bills and your own family, then you're responsible for that. It's no longer your parents' responsibility. And if your children want to help you in your older age, a lot of children who love and respect their parents will be willing to do that. But I still don't feel that that's the obligation. Because that was their responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So, some people will probably disagree with that, but it's not their, obligation anymore. Once they've raised you to adulthood and got you to a adulthood, now your responsibility is on you. But I remember Fantasia had this issue. Why is it always it's not though, Rainbow Kid. It's not just us. This happens in in a lot of groups. We just, with Black people, everything is just polarized. It's always push. We're Black, so we gravitate to our people. So we see it, but in other communities, they do the same thing. They just don't publicize it as much, and you don't hear them talking as much. But I mean, hell, Mariah Carey had this issue with her sister, and her sister has passed away. I mean, said that she didn't want to help her, and then she was struggling, and she didn't want to help her. I mean, we're not the only community that's happened. There are a lot of honky tonk white people in the country, on the country scene, where they're rich and their siblings are, saying, they don't want to help them and this and that. Some of them have drug addicts in their families, and they want the money, and they're not giving it to them, so they crashing out. A lot of times we don't focus on that and see, but it's happening everywhere. It's not just us. A lot of things is not just us. It's just we are a smaller demographic, but we're exposed the most. A lot of these other people, they don't expose their stuff as much. With us, we talk a lot and we're put on Front Street, but this is not just happening. This is not just in the Black community. It really is not. Mariah is, mixed. She leans more Black now, but she got, the white siblings in her family. You know what I'm saying? And there are a whole bunch of other people who have the same issues. It's not just the Black community, to be honest with you. I've seen this in all groups. Well, not all groups, but definitely Black and white groups for sure. Yeah, it'd be the issues. I mean, hell, when it comes to money, oh shit. Britney Spears had the issue with her daddy and her sister allegedly stealing money and all kinds of stuff. When you make a lot of money, you know what I mean? The deadbeat family members comes out the woodworks. Oh, they come out the woodworks. They come out looking for an easy payday. They really do. And yeah, I do think a lot of this stuff should be talked about privately. But from what I gather from Glorilla's sister is she wants people to interview her, to talk about it and pay her. So she's trying to get a lick off of that. She's trying to get people to pay her for interviews so that you can get some money that way. But, she went on to say in that video, because I think that was just a snippet of it. Lindsay Lohan. Yes, Classy. Yes, a lot of artists. Trust me. But I think what Glorilla's sister is trying to do is get a come up off of doing interviews talking about her. So she wants people to pay her, but she hasn't been able to really get a bunch of people who are willing to pay her to talk about it. So yeah, and I've seen this scenario many times where family members want to expose the artist, and want you to, but they want to. People have been paid on the behind the scenes to put out stories on the people. This was a big thing, the tabloids and stuff, back when the tabloids and papers were popping. There would be sisters and relatives of the celebrities would give stories, get paid behind the person's back to tell inside stories, or things like that. Remember the Insider? There would be stories of shocking stories that would be in the headlines of these celebrities, and it'd be the people who work closest with them, either family members or people who work for them, would get paid to tell all stories that they could put in the papers. And it was beneficial because people like shocking stories, that's behind the scenes that's happening. So yeah, they were getting paid for doing that. Now it's to, you want to get paid to bash the person, or think you have something on them to put it out. So they've been doing this for years, because they feel like that person is not taking care of them, or giving them money like they think that they should, when they don't have no obligation to give you shit. They don't have to take care of you. They don't. And then going this route, you probably won't ever get a dime out of her, because why would she be inclined to give you something after you've put out this expose thinking you exposing them? So I thought this was weird. I thought it was crazy, and it's not going to get that much attention. Yeah, she's trending. Glorilla is trending because of this, But this is going to be going away because nobody really agrees that she should be paying. And there are some people who think, well, damn, if you making money, your sister should be driving a Benz. Who said that? Where does that come from? That because you work hard and make some money that you're supposed to put your sister and your family, all your family members in these expenses. Who's going to pay for this? Like, y'all think this much? Y'all think she's, got money falling off trees? No, she can't afford to do that. And then if the car break down, then y'all gonna be calling her up. The car broke down. I need you to fix it. I need you to do this. If you buy them a house, they still gonna be like, oh, well, something happened. You got to come fix it. You will be forever indebted to these types of people because they don't understand hard work and how to do it themselves. That's why you don't just give people stuff, because they become unappreciative and because they didn't have to work hard for it and they don't want to maintain it. You have to do everything. Like, no, I'm not going to buy you a house. You could buy somebody a house, pay for it flat out, and they won't even pay the taxes. They won't even pay for the maintenance or the upkeep of the goddamn house. I'm like, well, goddamn, if I buy you $100,000 or $200,000 house, because I think that's reasonable. If I'm gonna buy somebody a house, it ain't gonna be within that price range. It's not gonna be no more. So if you buy somebody about $150,000, $160,000, $180,000 house, or $200,000 at the most, because that's it, you will get that built. It'll be a just small house, not too big. I'm not doing, it wouldn't be no more than that. But if I buy you a house, pay free and clear, and tell you, okay, you won't have to pay the taxes every year. Your utilities, you got the upkeep, because I'm not doing all that. And you say you can't do that, then you don't need no house. Oh my God. You don't need no house, but people don't understand all of the stuff that comes with that. Especially when you come from the hood, your family members have never, seen $100,000 or never seen, any type of substantial amount of money. They never seen $1 million. They never seen nothing, or don't understand how money works. They just think you're able to just, hand it out, give it out, and not understanding what else what comes with that. But yeah, they just want something free and clear. And that's why I say, if you start doing that, you just have to, like some people who are much more well off, they just have, they just budget their families, like their mothers and their fathers. They just budget their bills into their lifestyle. They just pay for it because they want to do that and they can do it. You know what I mean? Like their mother and father house, they just pay for it and they just pay their bills. They budget it into their bills, and so I can see you doing that for your parents because they're elderly or whatever and they're retired or something. If you can afford to do it, but if you can't afford to do it, you can't afford to do it. But I just think, people don't understand money and taxes and how this all works, and they think you just supposed to just hand them over money. It's crazy. Thank you, Latrell M, for the super chat. Says that's her brother. Stop playing. Oh my God, Latrell, don't do that. I mean, she looked like one, but I'm just saying we know what it is. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, child. I mean, that might be a compliment to her. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, child? Baby. Yeah. Yeah, but it's crazy though. Like I said, I see this happening and I just always say, this is y'all mentality is warped. Like, no. What you say? You make it, we all make it. Hell to the no. Oh my God. I know you lying. Hell no. Ain't no hell. No, you better make it on your goddamn own. You better figure it out. How I make it and my whole family. Hell no. You better make it to some money and bring something to the goddamn table. Hell, you want to be a part of this? Bring something. Prove that you can make some money and help out some kind of way. Shit. That shouldn't be all. No, hell no. No. And they always say, when these people be winning this lottery, they get all kind of, you gotta shut your phone off. And you got to put on a goddamn mask if you win the lottery, because if your family find out, every family, you ain't seen them in 20 years, they're going to pop up. Yeah, I'm your auntie on your daddy's side, 2 times removed. Okay, and what the hell you want? I don't know of you. I ain't seen you. Oh, yeah, we just thought we'd get a little of that money, because family got to stick together. I know you lying. Oh, my God. Stick together. I don't even know you, lady. People start calling you, coming off from everywhere. Yeah, ooh, yeah, I remember you. You was a little baby. Okay, keep remembering, baby, because I don't know who you are, and we're gonna keep it that way. You know, these people be crazy, but yeah, I don't agree with this whole I made it, so we all made it. No. And you gotta be strict and serious about that, because they'll try to make you feel guilty, try to expose you, try to make you look bad amongst people, because people, you know, I remember Kendrick Lamar. I think that was Kendrick Lamar bought his sister or niece or somebody a car. Y'all remember that? He bought a car, a brand new car. I don't give a damn who the brand is. He bought her a brand new car. I think it was either his sister or niece or somebody. A used car, a car. Somebody bought you a car. Ain't too many people gonna do that. You should be grateful, and she probably was. But the public was out here, well, why he ain't buying her a G-Wagon, and why he ain't buying, because he didn't want to. Oh my God. Maybe that's not what he's into. And that's his money. And I think she was a teenager or whatever, graduating high school or something. Why does she need an expensive Jeep? Like, why? Because he's Kendrick. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But people have all these types of, you know, all this smoke for celebrities, because you think that they got it like that, and they should just, everybody who makes money is not superficial. Everybody who makes a substantial amount of money is not out here trying to buy the most expensive clothes, expensive cars, and all that kind of stuff. Everybody don't think the same. And a lot of these people are average people making have it with these opinions, and nobody's ever bought you a car because you can't afford a car. Nobody could buy you a car outright. But you're talking about, oh, because you're this person, you should buy a G-Wagon. Why? You should feel embarrassed because you bought her a used car. Why? There are a lot of celebrities who live below their means, who have a lot of money, and they're just not into expensive clothes and name brands or none of that. Everybody is not the same, and people got to stop treating it like that. Successful MD says, this is the same problem with marriage and relationships. People don't appreciate things that they don't work for or contribute to. Unrealistic. Exactly. Successful MD. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, and I think it's just crazy. Like you everything is superficial. Everything is following the crowd. Everything is what other people deem successful or look. Everybody's about a look. Or if you got to look the part. I could look however I want, as long as I'm clean and I'm presentable. I don't have to wear what everybody else is wearing. I don't have to look like everybody else. That's the problem. Everybody is our followers. Everybody want to look a certain way to prove something, and then be broke and in debt up to your eyebrows. You know, and stressed out and tripping because you got so many bills and so much debt that you can't afford, but you look good. It looks nice. People are, this house is nice. And they don't realize you behind in your mortgage, 5, 6, 7 months behind, struggling to keep up, to please people and keep up with the Joneses. That is not a good way to live. That is very stressful. And I mean, you see all these people out here trying to do all this, and then till they can't, and then they file in bankruptcy and losing it all. And then people see that happening. And what happened? No. And a lot of people realize they're much more peaceful when they don't have all that pressure and have to level up to please folks. No, I don't think you should live your life to please other people. You need to do what is best for you and your family if you have one, not for other people. These people ain't gonna be there to pick up the pieces and pay your bills and do all this for you. No, they're going to walk away when your life don't reflect what they think it should reflect. Then they move on. And that's not real friends. And that's not people that you should have in your circle. If it's all about a look and all about what it costs, baby, you could keep it moving. Keep it moving. Because that don't make no sense to me. Not for grown people. You should have a better mentality than that. What is it? Dennis Settles 6611. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't think. Thank you so much for being here too. I just think that's a immature mentality. You know what I mean? I really do. It's not about how much you spend on stuff. It's about what makes sense. But at the end of the day, you know, I always say, listen, it's your money. You do what you want with it. But, you know, don't expect everybody to think the way you think and move the way you move. You know, let people move the way they want to. People are like, well, you make this amount of money. Why? You're cheap. You're this. Well, that's how they're going to keep their money. Don't worry about if somebody else is cheap. You do what you want with yours. But when you broke or whatever, that's your business. I don't give a damn. No, I can't loan you nothing. I can't give you a dime because, listen, there's a reason certain people are frugal or cheap or whatever you want to call it, because they have a bigger plan. They have a bigger purpose. They understand what's important and they have something that they're working towards. If you're just making the money as you getting it and you spending it as you getting it, then you're just spending it. You don't have a purpose, a plan. You don't, you know, you just think, oh, I make it, I'm just going to spend it how I want. Okay, cool. You know, but don't count somebody else's pockets. They don't have to spend their money the way you do. If they don't want to spend, you know, $15,000 on a purse, don't shame them or try to make them feel bad because they don't want to spend 15 grand on a purse. That's you. I don't see the worth of 15 grand on a purse. I think that's just one of the stupidest things you could ever do in life. It's a purse. There are all kind of nice bags and purses that you could get that cost way, way less than $15,000. People are spending $15,000 and $20,000 on purses. I just think that's stupid. I don't care if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't spend no $15,000 on a bag. See that, but that's just me. I don't feel it's just a purse. You barely carry purses. You know how many purses I could get for $15,000, and I wouldn't even need that many. There's no way. I don't see the point. I don't see it whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what you want to do. That's you. But everybody ain't got to do that, or don't feel the need to do that, or nor do they want to. Nazzy Naz 97. Thank you for the super chat. Says we're paying for a whole identity. We're paying for a whole identity just for people. Then that identity ends up becoming a caricature for them, and then you become their slave. Wow. Good way to put it. Thank you for the super chat, Nazzy Naz 97. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. You're paying for a whole identity just for other people. Yeah. Right. And I mean, and then it's an ongoing thing because you got to keep that up. Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate you for the support. You got to keep that up, and then till you can. And that's stressful. A lot of people go through that process and then they come out on the other side, and then they're so much more at peace when they lose it all, and then they have to start over, and they start small and they just recalibrate their lives and start small again. They feel it's a relief because they realize, damn, I had to let it go. I couldn't keep it up. And yeah, I didn't like that it happened that way, but now they're much more at peace because they don't have all of this weight dangling over their shoulders. Like it's a release and a relief. Because now you don't have to keep up the facade. It's too much. And I wouldn't recommend it for anybody. Classy Young Man 35, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Says my nephew is a top NBA star. You have to pay Uncle Sam escrow taxes. They have to pay NBA. What's that? Agents. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Agents get a percentage, and you have to pay state taxes in the state you go play because it's a job. Right. So yeah, it's a lot. And you know, it's a lot that you have to pay. The more you make, the more you end up having to pay in some cases. And it's just a bigger responsibility. It's a bigger responsibility. And you know, I don't think people understand that. People who are not in those positions don't understand all of your responsibilities and obligations and what it costs. So yeah, you know, it costs to be in those positions. Yeah, they make a lot, but they also spend out a lot, and they also pay out a lot. And while some people, like I said, make substantially more a year, they may be able to pay, like I say, for their parents and stuff. They may be able to take care of their parents and things of that nature, but to be expected to take care of your entire family, your siblings and all is just too much. Thank you, Classy. I appreciate you. Yeah. So yeah, I just think people need to understand that, you know, and then they go looking at these people's net worth. Okay, your net worth is not actually what you may have in the bank. That's another thing too. Your net worth could be based on, assets, things that you have, and of course you could sell them and get, some of the money from it. But your net worth could be, properties that you own along with other, assets that you have. It doesn't mean that's the actual amount of money that you have. And if you do, even if you did, they're not counting the money that you spend out. So if Beyonce made, 200 million on a tour, that's with, everything, the tour, the tickets, the sales for, everything, like everything, t-shirts, whatever, everything associated with that tour. If she made 200 million on that tour, do you think she's taking $200 million home? Oh my God. No, because everything that she has to pay for has to come out of that. That's not going to be her take home pay. That's what the tour may have accumulated, but you got to pay for lights, sound, dancers, everything. You got to pay you got to deduct the stuff that costs. Everything that they do costs something. So yeah, what you make is not what you take home. You got to deduct everything that you have to pay for. So a lot of times the tour may have made a certain amount of money, but a lot of times they break even. That was a shocker to me. When my husband was telling me how this works, because he's been in that business, it was a shock to me. I didn't want to believe it. A lot of times they break even. And the goal is, when you go on tour, is to make a profit, but a lot of times they don't. And sometimes they break even, and they, after they've paid and the dust is settled and they have to pay everything involved, they end up breaking even. So this is why some artists don't want to go on tours, or they have to go back to back on tours and maybe scale back and not, or do things differently so that they can make a profit. But yeah, there are people who have been big major artists who have went on tour and lost money. Oh my God. And I'm just like, that's not beneficial, because they lost money. The show was too big, and the bigger the show, the more it costs, and the more you have to pay. And so that means, and if you ain't selling tickets like you need to, then it could end up being at a loss. So I mean, but people don't understand a lot of that. They just see you on TV and they just think, oh, you rich, you got it like that. Give me some money. Give me some money and that's it. No, it don't work like that. So I just think people need to get a little bit more acclimated to how this all works, and stop thinking that these people have all this money to just blow and give out. No, they don't. This is why they always trying to sell a lot of stuff. They always try to come up with this and that to sell, to try to get some more money. They have a lot of things that they have to pay. And people don't realize too, a lot of these celebrities take out hundreds of $1 million loans. They're always getting loans to pay for stuff, and those loans have to be paid back. They don't it's not free money. But because of who they are, they have certain guarantees, because they have maybe properties, or they have other things that, hey, if you're not able to pay back, we have something as collateral. So because of who they are, and they have the potential to make money, and they have assets, they can, guarantee hundreds of $1 million of loans to pay for different ventures and things of that nature. But they're constantly in debt. They're constantly in debt. So I just think people got to understand, and these big ass houses and all these things, water features, all that costs money. Light bills be thousands and thousands of dollars like this every month. They shelling out a lot of money every month. So, I'm just saying, and if business is slow, if your records don't sell, if the tours don't sell, if none of these things are working out, what do you think is going to happen? That they're not just sitting up here, they got to keep working. You got to keep working. Even your biggest celebrities, they got to keep working, because they done accumulated so much debt. They got to keep working to maintain it. Because if you don't have anything coming in and you start spending off what you bought, what you have, then what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be an issue. If you're spending millions of dollars a month on bills and all kind of things, and you don't have that coming in, then it's going to eventually run out. And I don't understand why people don't get that. You see so many celebrities who talk about being broke. They said Michael Jackson was cash poor. He had no money. He was begging people for money because he didn't have any money. So he had assets, so he had to sell those to get money out of it, but he was cash poor is what they're saying. So I don't know. It's just a lot to learn about money and taxes and how this works and stuff. And you will realize, damn, when you see everything people got to pay out, you probably wouldn't be expecting these people to just sit up and just give you money and you ain't doing nothing. Like, no. So I don't think Glorilla's sister is, in the right position to be out here saying that her thinking that she owed him. She don't owe y'all a goddamn thing. She don't, not in my opinion. That's her money, whatever she got, and she can do what she want with it. She don't owe you anything. Let's move on, you guys. So I have this story of this woman who is pregnant for an inmate, a prisoner. And I want to play what she had to say because this story was just shocking. Not shocking, but sad to me. But it's crazy. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. But I want to get into this. Y'all listen to this story. Check this out. Hold on. Oh, why is she still up there? Hold on.
It's part 1 of how I got pregnant by an inmate that I met off TikTok on our first visit. This is just a disclaimer. I don't need anybody in the comments telling me that I'm stupid, telling me that I'm dumb. Like, we all make mistakes. We've all done something like this. It's life. It happens. So I want to say back in probably May.
No, just to clarify, no, we all have not done something like that. Don't say that ever again. No, we all have not dated a prisoner and got pregnant for him. And no, we all have not done that. Let's make that clear. All women are not out here getting pregnant for prisoners. Okay? That's just you. Maybe somebody else, but not all. Don't say all. All women ain't out here dating prisoners and getting pregnant by them. Child. No. Let's continue.
Of 2024. I was scrolling on TikTok and I seen said inmate. And when I tell y'all, he caught my eye because not only was he fine, he was silly and funny too. So I said, I'm going to download this app and I'm going to hit him up. This is the video right here, Pop. After that time passed of us getting to know each other, us talking, going through the work, we decided that we were going to be exclusive. We were going to be serious. I really liked him. He really liked me. And it went on from there. So we were talking for about maybe 6 months before I decided to go and see him and get approved to get on his visitors list. And mind you, if you have anybody who's incarcerated in Ohio, you know that's a whole process of trying to be an approved visitor on somebody's list. So I got approved to get on his list or whatever. And about, I want to say a month to 2 months for me to actually go see him. So I get to the visit to go see him. He looking at me, I'm looking at him. He looking good, I'm looking good. And he like, damn, you look better than your pictures. And I'm like, same, like you look good. Like you look better than the video visits and the pictures that we had exchanged and seen of each other online. So we hug each other. When you're inside of the room, this is the inmates right here, and then these are the people who are walking in to come for the visit. So you have to line up, and then the inmates are lined up. So we're facing each other like this. So we get to walk in, give each other a hug, kiss, whatever. Then we go sit down at the table. If you order food, you get your food. If you want to take pictures, you can take pictures. If you want to go to the vending machine, you can go to the vending machine. But the whole thing is, if you and the inmate aren't taking pictures, they have to stay seated that whole entire time. Right? So we're in there, we're sitting down, playing our game, eating our food, just really enjoying each other's company and really just getting to know each other in the physical. When I tell y'all the craziest thing happened, like it was so insane. It was so fast. It was so quick. I still can't believe this to this day. I still can't believe that I'm in this situation, but hey, God give me lemons and I make lemonade all the time. But
girl, leave God out of it. This is the problem too. God ain't nowhere in there, honey. That ain't the work of God. Okay. Stop putting God in it when y'all doing everything outside of the will of God. I'm just saying. Oh my God. Classy, thank you for the super chat. Says you have low self-esteem and that's bad that you couldn't find anyone outside. Oh my God. Facts. Thank you, Classy. Let's continue.
Super big fight between, I want to say, an inmate and a family broke out, and all of the COs and security had ran over there, and they were all focused on that situation trying to break the fight up. So, you know, me being me, I'm like, I was like, I'm about to go in the bathroom. He like, shit, I'm about to follow you in there. And I'm like, what's up? What you trying to do? He said, what you trying to do? Hurry up and go before they see us. So I go in the bathroom, y'all. We're in there for maybe a good 15 minutes because we were scared to come out, y'all. I kid you not. So we in the bathroom. I pull my pants down. He munching. When I say munching, I mean certified eater on my mama. So we do what we do or whatever. And I'm like, where did you come at? And he was like, well, what you mean? I'm like, where did you come at? He was like, in you. I had almost passed out. I was like, why didn't you pull out? He was like, what you mean? I thought you said you wanted to marry me. I thought you wanted to be with me. I'm like, yeah, but that didn't mean leave it in.
Girl, now you got to be dumb. I'm sorry. This is the educated women. You know, you don't know what this man been doing in this prison. You don't know him from a can of paint for real. And you gonna go your ass to that prison. If she was my daughter, which I don't know how, she look older, but I would be like, yeah, you dumb as hell. Now you gonna go in here and let this man raw dog you. You don't know him from a can of paint, first time meeting him in person, and you gonna let this go down? This is why I say a lot of these women are moving with just physical. Oh, he look good. Oh, you look good. You look good from the surface. Don't mean you are really good. And he's a prisoner. They lie for a living, honey. He trying to get a pen pal, a chick on the outside who gonna take care of him. And what better way he ain't got shit to lose. You got everything to lose. And you gonna let this man raw dog you in the prison house, honey. And you don't know what was coming out of that sperm. You don't know what he had going on. And you just come on, just do it. Cause I'm attracted to you physically. Could have gave you anything. And you gonna let him do all of this. You don't know if he could have been munching on another dude. I'm just saying. He sounds good at it. He in prison, probably been the muncher in the muncher of the jail. And you don't give a shit. You just gonna go in, child. That does sound like desperation. You was desperate. You could get no man on the outside. You went there desperate. Let this man do this to you. What else? And then he just whatever, let loose. And now you pregnant with a stranger child. A stranger.
Oh my God. A stranger. That's crazy work.
But let's continue.
So here we are. Me being 2 months pregnant. I find out the gender in, I want to say 6 more weeks. And yeah, that's how it started. And everybody's asking me like, well, how is he going to support you and the baby while he's incarcerated? I don't know. All I know is that I have my Cash App in my bio. I have a GoFundMe linked in our bio as well. But I don't know how he's going to support us. Dude, like, I don't know. And then not only am I pregnant with one child, I'm pregnant with 2. I'm having twins. So everybody is like, get an abortion, and I don't believe in abortions. And then the craziest part about this all is that he still has 15 years left on his sentence. So I'm just gonna have to make the best of this, and hopefully the internet supports me throughout my pregnancy. Maybe I could get enough donations. The baby shower and gender reveal that I want is totaling to, I want to say $12,000. So I'm gonna put my GoFundMe up and my Cash App to just get a little support and see if the internet helps me out. But like I said before, I don't need anybody judging me or telling me like, why would you do this? Like, we all have made a mistake like this. Like, please don't be judgmental. Like I said, the Cash App is in the bio. The GoFundMe is in the bio. Please donate if you can, because I'm carrying 2 babies, and look at how big I am, y'all, to be 2 freaking months. Like, this is crazy. And I know all of y'all are probably like, you're stupid, you're dumb. I see a lot of people in the comments saying that I'm a bird, I have a bird brain. And it's like, only thing I need right now in this moment is just genuine love and support. Like I said, if you could donate anything to help me, that would be perfect. Like I said,
girl, why would you go and get knocked up by a prisoner and then ask for strangers to support you? Donate, Cash App, and do all this for what? You went and purposely got knocked up with a stranger in jail. Who's going to be in jail for 15 years? Girl, how you going to take care of that goddamn child? You going to bring the child to the prison? And can you get him? No, you got to take care of him too now. He's going to be expect you the baby mama now. Now he going to be sending you, he going to be expecting you to put money on his books. And you got a child? Like, how dumb is that? How dumb is that? I hope she lying. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat, says they think it's clout to get knocked up by Prison Pookie. Even if she is lying to go viral, the stupidity is common among such women. Clowns all around. Exactly. There are people who actually do this. I talked about this a while ago where there's an actual app. Like she said, you can go and look up the prisoners and people are doing it. This is crazy as hell. This is, once again, a lot of women who move in with their emotions and their feelings and they don't see the consequences of their actions. Now you go and then they be out here. Then she'll be crying with a baby talking about, oh my God, I'm struggling to take care of it. It's hard. It's hard. And with him being in jail, he can't do this. Girl, you didn't know that from the beginning? How dumb is it? You know what I mean? I wouldn't even want to put myself out there as a sacrificial lamb for people to make jokes of and say how stupid I am. I wouldn't even want to be thought of in that light, thought of in a way to even do something like that just for some clicks and views and a few dollars. Hell no. Your reputation and how you present yourself should be important to you. Now, even if this is a lie, people know you as the woman who posted videos about dating a prisoner, getting pregnant with twins, doing the most stupid, egregious thing ever, and that's what you're going to be associated with. Why would you? Come on now. That don't make no sense. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
Yeah, I don't have a job. He works in there. I want to say he's the porter, so he only makes $18 a month. So
$18 a month.
If y'all can help a girl out, perfect. But if not, I get it. I know what I did is messed up. No, I'm not having an abortion. Like, I just don't believe in that, and it is what it is.
And to make the situation worse, my family does not know that I'm pregnant by a man that's incarcerated. They don't even know that I'm pregnant at all. So I don't even know how I'm going to tell my family that's supporting me that I'm pregnant by somebody that's incarcerated with twins.
Leave out the most important part. So when I tried to leave him, this is when he sent me boohoo crying. Like, look at this.
Like, can you please not give up on this, please? Girl, I know I told petty lies and all that shit. I need you, Taylor. Girl, I really love the fuck out of you. Everything in me. I done fucked up. You feel me? Alright, bro. Mad at me. Damn. Don't leave me for real. I love the fuck out of you.
Girl.
And after that, I really didn't want to get rid of my babies. Like, who would want to get rid of their babies? After falling in love with somebody, meeting them, y'all have your interaction, you get pregnant, and then we did have like a little mishaps in between, and I told him I was gonna leave him. I was getting rid of the babies, like, you know, forget him. And he sent me that video, and that really made me feel like, I'm not getting rid of my kids, and I love my man, and I'm gonna marry him. And y'all have to stop judging me like y'all haven't did this before. Y'all haven't been in a situation like this before. This is crazy.
Never.
Okay, this is part 7 of how I got pregnant by an inmate that I met off TikTok at our first visit. I see that so many people have so many questions. So I'm just gonna start from the beginning. Number 1 is, why did I get pregnant with him knowing that he had 15 years left? Y'all, I did not know that he had 15 years left. When I met him back in 2024, he told me that he was getting out in 2026. Why didn't I look it up? I don't know. I don't know how to look inmates up in Ohio. I didn't know how to do it at that time. Does that make me crazy? I mean, a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have been talking to an inmate knowing that I don't know how to look people up. I didn't find out that he had 15 years left on his sentence until I want to say January, I think January 11th of this month. And that video where he was boohoo crying, that's because I told him I was going to leave him, because it's like, why didn't you tell me that you had 15 years left on a sentence and now here it is, I'm pregnant with babies? Like, why didn't you tell the truth from the beginning? Like, that's why he was boohoo crying, talk about, he messed up, everything else, please don't leave him. Like, I genuinely didn't know that he had 15 years left. He lied to me. Y'all keep asking, why won't I? The answer is because of my religious practices, I don't believe in abortion. Okay, if y'all are warriors, that's between y'all and God. That don't have nothing to do with me. For my religious purposes, I don't believe in that. He told me that he couldn't have kids. I believe that he couldn't have kids. Like, I don't know why this man lied to me so much. I don't know why he let me on. I don't know. I really wish that I had the answers for y'all. I don't know. And I really feel like, I don't know why he lied. I don't know. That's something that I'm gonna have to ask him and do in a separate video when we're on the phone. But he told me that he couldn't have kids, and then he told me that he was getting out in 2026. And then I found out in January after I was pregnant, because he told me. And then I had my friend look it up online, because nobody even knew that I was dealing with him. Nobody knew. No friends, family, nothing.
Your religious practices won't allow you to get rid of the baby, but your religious practices allow you to go and fornicate with a prisoner. Is that in your does it say in your religious practices that you should be fornicating with a man that's locked up in jail that's not your husband? And does your religion allow you to let a man raw dog you in jail who is not your husband and get pregnant out of wedlock? Is that okay in your religious practices? Come on now. Let's be for real. Latrell says actions have consequences. Yes, they do. Thank you, Latrell. I appreciate you. Successful MD says the bird has 20 personalities. Child, thank you, Successful MD. This is dumb as hell. This is dumb as hell. You know, and the people have every right to say that, because this is dumb. If this was your daughter, if this was my daughter, I would tell her, you are a fool. What are you doing? Like, are you that desperate? You can find out one man outside here that you could date and build a relationship with, where y'all can establish something together. You go to the prisons. This is why I don't take a lot of women seriously when they be talking about what they want from a man and all this, because if he cute enough, if he's fine enough for you, you'll do just about anything for him, and he don't have to make no money at whatsoever. This man make $18 a month in prison, and she went there, got knocked up the first visit, and she says she's pregnant with twins, and this man can't offer her a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. He can't offer you anything, but you love him so much, and oh my God, you know what I mean? This is insanity. A Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Once again, says, I didn't know freak nasty was a religious practice. Me either. I didn't know either. Successful MD. Right. But they don't think of that. I hear so many women who be saying, oh, I'm a Christian first, and I want a godly man. Child, y'all leave that. Stop playing with God. Thank you, Successful MD, for the super chat. Like, it's just don't make no sense, y'all. But I just thought this was real dumb. You know what I'm saying? I thought hopefully, I hope she is lying. I hope she have more sense enough. At least she capitalizing off it, and it's not the truth. I still would want my image to be, to be represented by such a story, because it just makes you look bad. And people, whatever you put out there, people perceive it as the truth. And I wouldn't want to be perceived as such a person of low standards, to go through, to put yourself in a situation like this. But once again, there are women who do this, and then they'll come out and then be like, well, I'm a single mother. Why aren't these men taking care of their responsibilities, child? You know what I mean? This be the type of stories that they don't tell you what's actually happening, but come out and say, oh, these men just abandoned their children. Girl. And the nigga is in jail, and you talking about he abandoned his child? In jail for 15 years, and you knew this? And you didn't think twice about waiting to, first off, going to the prisons for a man is bad business, in my opinion. Like, come on now. That you clearly set yourself up for failure, so you can't. But this is the type of stuff that some women do. They go out and make reckless decisions, and then they complain about it, but they don't tell you their decisions. They only focus on the man not doing his part, but they don't tell you their parts. They leave their part out on purpose so you can have sympathy for them, just thinking that, oh, they just met a man and he pretended that he was so great, and then he just knocked you up. You had no choice in the matter. He tied you, taped you down to the bed and just got on you, and you know what I'm saying, and just rammed you raw and got you pregnant, and that was against your will. They say it as if they had no choice in the matter, like it was all on him, and you had no choice to make, and then boom, he got you pregnant and ran off, and now you a straight total victim. That is not always the case. These women know what they were doing. They got into it because they wanted to feel good, they enjoyed it, and they didn't care about anything else. And when the baby popped up, you get what you get. That's the consequences of your actions, honey. It's not like all these women were virgins and the man, and they required marriage, but the man didn't want to marry him. Like I said, but he said, ooh, I'm just want you. And he taped you down, you against your will, and did that to you, raw dog you, and against your will, and boom, you're pregnant. Now that's the situation where you had no control and you couldn't fight him off, and he took advantage of you. That's when I could understand that type of situation. Like some people are, taken advantage of and end up pregnant, then that's a situation that was beyond your control. But when you're out here saying, hey, I don't care about nothing else, I'm just trying to get to the D, I just wanted the D, the baby just happened to come. No, you have common sense, right? You know that when the D and the P, when the two get together, the man and the woman get together and they're raw dogging, and it's a pleasurable thing, and it's a possibility that you can get pregnant, and that the bulk of the responsibility is going to be on you, because you got to carry that child, and you're expected to raise it. And if you're doing that with an irresponsible man who is out here just trying to get to the action, then you have a major responsibility just as he does. It's not just on him, because to me, I would argue that it's even more of your responsibility because it's your body. And you're supposed to have your bodily autonomy, right? And the choice is yours to do what you want with your body. So you can't eliminate that choice when you get pregnant, when you open your legs and give your body to a person that you barely know, somebody who doesn't probably want to be a father, somebody who is irresponsible, somebody who is all of the things that you don't like, and you decide, you know what, I don't care about none of that, but I'm gonna give him my body because I want his body. And you bust it open and you don't require anything, that's on you, honey. You have every responsibility just as he does. And you can't just say, oh, tell the men to stop getting women pregnant. Girl, if you open your legs to him and you don't require him to wear protection, you don't provide the protection. Because I think if it's your body, you should be providing the protection. If you know you don't want to get pregnant, you should have the condoms. Because it's your body. You should have the condoms. You should be on birth control. You should be doing everything in your power not to get pregnant if you're going to choose to go out here and sleep with somebody. You should say, here's a condom. Make sure ain't no holes in it. Make sure it's legit before you allow him to enter your body, because it's your body. And if you're really that particular about what happens with your body, because you will be the one that has to, your body is going to change. All of this is going to affect your body. The man is not going to carry the baby. So you should be extra precautious and prepare for something like that. You shouldn't be so willy-nilly with what happens with your body and then blame it all on the other person. That's crazy to me. The 18 letter, what's going on? How are you? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the super chat. Says, claim to be the most unprotected yet that do things like this. This is self-inflicted. She went to the criminal's headquarters, shaking my head. Exactly, the 18 letter 78. Thank you so much for the super chat, and I appreciate you being here. What's going on? How you been?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's like, a lot of this stuff that these women are doing, they're putting themselves in these positions. It is self-inflicted. Thank you once again. I appreciate you. But they don't want it. You do your dirt and hide your hand, and then you want people to feel sorry for you. So this is why, when you look at the truth and you look at what's really real, it's not always any sympathy. If there's a case that something actually happened to you that was out of your control, I have all the sympathy and the empathy in the world for that. And I don't condone people taking advantage of folks. But if you went out on your free will and you knew what you were doing and you wanted it, women act like they don't enjoy sex. Like you're not out here wanting it too. Clearly in this video, this woman say, oh, he looked good. And you was attracted to him and you know what you wanted from him because he looked so good. So y'all women want sex just as equally and just as much as men do. So you look at a man, you want that enjoyment too. But then when you pop up pregnant or with something, now you're crying, he did this to me. He took advantage. No, he didn't take advantage of you, baby. You wanted it. You didn't say that he took advantage. You didn't say he took it from you. You went out there with it. Well, he should have done this. Why is all of the onus on the man when it comes to your body? And once again, that's the question that they need to ask. The onus is on you. If you don't protect yourself, why should anybody else feel, if you don't have any requirements, you don't protect yourself, why do you place it, the responsibility on a man? That's not his body. He's if he's raw dogging you, he don't care too much about his body either. So why is he going to care about yours? It's just crazy. JSU Tiger 07, thank you for the super chat. Says, hence the Brandon Jamal song, you let him hit it raw. Exactly. You let him hit it raw dogging you, and then you cry and complain about, oh, he did it to me. No, you did it to your damn self.
Oh my God.
You did it to yourself. It's your body, your choice. And you made the choice to let a man do that, and then you just think it's all on him. Why do men make women single? Because you let them. Because you let them. Why they make you a single? Because you let them. Tell me it's a different reason. You let them. If you about to be intimate with a man and you don't say, hold on, wait a minute, pump your brakes, and we gonna do this here. Put this on. Because I ain't trying to have no babies and I don't want no diseases. Put this on. I don't give a damn. If you don't want to do it like this, well, you just go find somebody else. Are you stopping and you're doing it? No. One thing led to another. That means you don't have any requirements, any standards you just letting whatever happens happen. So when whatever happens happens, keep that same energy. And keep that same energy when you're trying to play victim. No, you said you didn't care about none of that. You would have had, boom, I popped up with something, or I got a baby. So you know what? I ain't mad. He ain't ready to be a father. Hell, I wasn't ready to be a mother, but I knew it. Or do what you need to do if that's not what you really want, or accept the consequences, honey. That's a part of being an adult and what it's about, being responsible for your actions. You know what I mean? And not blaming everybody else for your choices. But they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. You just want everybody to see your side and say, oh my God, these men are this. No, if men are that, what are the women? If men are just low down, dirty dogs, what are y'all? Because y'all sleeping with them and giving these low down, dirty dogs babies. You giving these low down, dirty, controlling, manipulative men babies. You didn't say, yeah, you low down and controlling, but you know what? Damn, you fine. I want to be with you, but here, put this on, protect. I don't want no child with you, and I don't want no mishaps. You wasn't serious about that part of it, but all of a sudden they low down, dirty, dogs. But y'all give all of them babies. Every baby father you have is a narcissist. They all abusers. They all this, and you didn't see that until after you had the baby. So why you give them more? Because one I might can excuse, but then you do it over 2, 3, 4 times over. What was the excuse then? Nazi Naz 97. Thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Says men's attention and natural attraction is demonized as is. Women's answer, instead of dressing more conservatively, they make our natural attraction taboo. Can't have it both ways. Exactly. I agree. Thank you once again for the support. I appreciate you once again. Yeah, I mean, look, to me, what I see is it's always pressure for men to keep changing, men to level up, to take care of these boss chicks who say they make a lot of money, but they still want y'all to pay for everything. So that means you still have to level up. If you're an average earning man, you still have to level up somehow to give these modern boss chicks what they expect. But you can't expect much from them. So the thing that you would want from them, they're not willing to provide because they're modern women. Thank you, Naz and Naz. I appreciate you once again. Bakish Edwards, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. But I think there's always this idea of a man leveling up, which I think is so weird. I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But there's never any expectation from the women. There's a video that I'm going to be reacting to. So make sure you guys have that notification bell turned on that I'll be reacting to on the channel, where they talk about what men were taught versus what women were taught, and what women were taught to about how they should treat a man. And this was on the Lapeef network. Shout out to Lapeef. I'm gonna be reacting to that probably later on today or tomorrow, where these, they asked the women what they were taught and how they should show up for a man, and what they should provide for a man versus what men were taught, and how men should, provide for women, or what they should be willing to do or give to a woman. And there's a stark difference between what men were taught and what women were taught. Because honestly, and I can attest to it, we were not taught of what we should provide and give to a man. Most women were not. But we were told what to expect from a man and what a man should do for a woman. And men were taught how they should show up for a woman. Respect the woman, treat her like a lady, pull her chair out, open the doors for her. You got to give her something, share your cookie. If you got a cookie, give her something. It was taught to men early on that they should give a woman something. And it's something that you have to always do for her. Talk to her nice and, treat her right and all this. But we were never taught that. There was a few things that were said, but it was not taught in mass of what we should do for a man. It was always what a man should do for us. And we just supposed to just always be willing to accept something from and look and expect something from a man, but not what we should give to a man. And this is why we have so many selfish women now who expect the most from a man, but they just show up. They're the prize because they're just a woman and they have a vagina and they know that's what you want. That's the only thing. Oh, he wants your cookies. He wants your vagina. So he has to do everything to get that. But now we're in a market where That's not even looked at as a prize because women are just giving it out. So they don't have anything outside of that. This is why they're at a loss. They don't know what to think. And now men are sassy because men are saying it. No, I want something more than just that. What else can you bring? And when you say, what do you bring to the table? They're stumped. They're like, what? I am the table, you know? No, they don't want just a table. What else do you bring besides that? And they're lost. They don't understand it. Latrell, thank you once again for the super chat. Latrell says, you want a man to level up, but what makes you think that a man who levels up would date down? Boom. See, Latrell, listen, they only attribute dating down when it comes to them. This is the exact problem that's happening in the dating market. These women don't realize the men that they want don't want them. The men that they want, that they deem as this top tier, high value men, are not checking for them. This is where the man would be dating down by dealing with them. A lot of these women don't see themselves for where they really are and where they really stand in the dating market. They all think they're 10s when a lot of them are like not at all. But they see themselves as such, but then they don't understand why the men that they will want aren't checking for them. So I think, once again, women have to do a deep dive. You got to really look at it for real if you're really trying to get somebody. If you're not, then do what you do, because ain't nobody checking for you anyway. But if you're really trying to get somebody, you got to realize where you stand and what's important. And a lot of them don't, Latrell. Thank you once again, Latrell. I appreciate you. So they're running around here, because they put on a weave and they can put their makeup on and they can get a BBL, or they have a job or a business, or they make 6 figures. They feel like that put them at the top of the food chain. Like that puts them at the top. Like, oh, I'm this desirable. I'm that girl, and I will not settle. But what you would consider a valuable man for you, he don't see you, boo. He don't see you. You don't even show up on his radar. So this is why I say, who you want gotta want you. Because you could have that preference all you want, but if you're not getting the outcome, honey, that means you need to change something. And if you just still feel like you don't want to settle, okay, just be happy being single. Accept the fact that you're just going to be single for the rest of your life, and you might not ever get a man. The man that you desire. That's the thing. They're not getting the men that they desire because the men that they desire don't want them. So you got to ask yourself, what's not clicking? What's not click? What is the part you're not getting? The men you want don't want you. I don't know how many times I hear women say, I'm surrounded by millionaires and I'm surrounded by all these men, but none of these men are looking at you as a possible option. What does that tell you? That says something. Use logical sense, common sense, to realize something about you is not what they want. If you're around these men and you haven't snagged one yet, if not, one of them hasn't snagged you, that ought to tell you something, boo. That these men are looking for something else. That means you don't qualify for what you think you qualify for. You could have your preference all day to doomsday. But if the men that you are preferring don't prefer you, guess what? You don't get them, boo. And that's why a lot of these subpar successful women are single, because you may make money, but that's not what these men are. They're not looking for the women that work with them that have not. They might sleep with you. They'll play around with you, but they're not taking you home to their parents and marrying you. They want something other than what you're providing. Y'all think a lot of these women think that they, when they're on the equal scale of these men financially, that these men gonna look at them and say, oh, that's my partner. I want a partner. My partner makes 6 figures, or she makes this, $1 million. She makes this. I want her for my part. Those men that make that money don't want a partner. They want a submissive wife. They want a beautiful, loving, submissive wife who they can go home to. When they come from their stressful work all day, dealing with business and all the, acquisitions or whatever they have to deal with, and dealing with this stressful environment, they want to go home to a soft, loving wife who's there, who's going to love on them and have their family taken care of, a nice meal, house smelling good, like come home to his oasis. He want to come home to something that he can look around and put his feet up and relax. He don't want to be at work with no boss chick making deals like him. They don't want that. And I think this is where these women get it twisted. And the wife, and she don't have to be a dummy. No, she have sense. Just because you're at home and working on me, that you're dumb and stupid. That's what they try to resort to. Oh, yo, you want a little ditzy. No, they want a beautiful, soft place to land. They want a beautiful woman who's loving and love being at the house and love being there for her man and her family. They don't want a woman competing. Both of y'all at the job working all day. And y'all go home, the house is cold and dry. Ain't no food, ain't no good smells. It's just dead at home. There's no life at the home. It's just cold. It may be beautiful, but it's cold. There's no warmth there. There's nothing going on there. And this is what I think women are missing. But you can say out your mouth as a woman that you bring certain things to the table. How you gonna do all of that while you at the job working just as hard as the man competing? What does he have to look forward to by coming home? Like, he doesn't even have a family. He don't have, the kids running to see dad, and the wife too, doing things that's family oriented, a family. Doing family things, people don't realize how important that is and how much a blessing that is to have that, And so I just think, this whole, ain't nothing wrong with you working and having a job or a career, but I mean, what else besides that? Because that gets old. People want to retire at some point. And when you retire, you want to go home and enjoy your family. You want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You want to sit back and enjoy the things that you work hard for. At some point, you want to retire and enjoy the things that matter to you most. Nobody want to keep paving the goddamn pavement, working hard on these jobs day in, day out, and go home to nothing and then just keep doing it over and over and over. At some point, you get tired of doing that, and you see them talking about it. So I think, I think it's a blessing to have a family and have a stability in your life and have a mixture of those worlds. I think it's something to be said about that. And I think far too often people minimize that and act as if it's not important, but it is at the end of the day, because like I said, that job could fire you. You could be on a job for 30 years and they could let you go. And then when you go home to nothing. And then you're miserable and you're like, damn, I've spent all my life doing this. And now I'm just that easily, I'm just dispensable. Is that the word? You just gonna let me go. I'm disposable. You just dispose me like I didn't work hard for this company and to build it up. And I'm just as disposable as anybody else. And now you got to go and all that time that you put into that business, and they could just let you go. You have no stake in it. You have no vested interest or nothing. No, nothing. And that's it. You gone. And then you don't have nothing to show for it. So this is why I say, hey, yes, money and all that is important. But if y'all gonna be out here working, work together. Work together, build something together so that in the future, you don't have to work as hard. Y'all can relax and sit back when the kids are grown. You can enjoy life together and stuff and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Stop thinking that it should be all on one person to do all this when it works better when you have two people contributing. So that's my thoughts on it and all of that. I got another clip I want to play for you guys. Let me know what you think of this. Make sure you are hitting the like button as you come into the building. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Men do not protect that which they do not own. I'm referring to women and children. Right. I get it. Listen to this and let me know what y'all think. Here we go.
Say that black men are the leaders in divorce. Y'all come back and say, well, who's initiating the divorces? The women initiate the divorces. We're not talking about who initiates the divorce. We're talking about y'all are the leaders of getting divorced, period. It doesn't matter who initiates it. Y'all get divorced. People don't want to stay with y'all. And that should be very telling. If women are initiating the divorces, it's because they don't want to stay with y'all. Like, y'all argument is flawed. I really don't can somebody help me understand why that would be your rebuttal? Well, who's initiating the divorce? The fact is they don't want to stay married to y'all. So, make it make sense.
I don't know what he was about to say, but baby, I think she got it twisted. No, but men are not the leaders of divorce. It's women. And when you hear that statement, women are the ones who initiate the divorces. That means they're the ones who are filing for divorce more than men. Yeah, so they are the ones who are getting divorces more than the men. Women are filing, when divorces happen, it's typically the women who are filing for the divorces. That means they are initiating the divorces. They want a divorce more than the men do. But then they say, oh, well, the women are walking away. Yes, they're the ones who are walking away. And it's not always because the man is the problem. It's because they're tired. They think they can do better. It's not always that he's doing such a bad job. They're leaving for, usually filing irreconcilable differences. That means that it wasn't a domestic issue. It wasn't that he was beating your head between the washer and the dryer. So it wasn't the fact that he was cheating. It wasn't the fact of those major things that they tend to think women would leave, that you would think a woman would leave. No, it's because you got tired of him. You feel like you could do better than him. He wasn't emotionally intelligent enough to sit around and kumbaya with you all day. It wasn't that he wasn't a provider, because a lot of women are walking away from men who are actually paying all the bills, and they're stay-at-home moms who are divorcing their husbands. Not saying he cheated, not saying any of that. In fact, a lot of them are saying he was actually a good man and he was a provider. But you're leaving because either God spoke to you and told you you need to leave, that ain't no longer your husband. You got up one day and felt like, oh my God, I understand my worth, so I got to go look for something better. This is why they're filing under irreconcilable differences. A lot of times it's not real reasons that would warrant a divorce. They just feel like they could do better. And they're walking away, but then when they walk away, they still are holding a man to the responsibility of what was the marriage. They still want him to pay for them to leave, which is crazy to me. They still want the man to pay for them to leave. He still you want to pay the court costs. You want him to pay for a lot of things associated with you leaving. You still want him to pay for stuff like he would normally pay for while you were married. And this is the problem that a lot of women are having. They still want the man to pay as if they're still together, which is crazy to me. So they're crying about that. They're crying about the cost of the divorce, even though they're deciding to leave, even though there was no real issues in a lot of these cases. Now, I ain't gonna say that's for every case, but a lot of these cases, these women are walking away because they're just tired and they feel like they could do better. But you still want him to take care of you in the process, when that's not something that he signed up for. He didn't want that. So no, more women are initiated and filing for divorces over reasons that you could have gone to counseling for or worked out. Yeah, Tia Mowry is one example of that. She left her husband because she felt like she could do better. And now she's still single. She felt like she could do better, and she left her husband. I want to play, since I'm talking about this, I want to get into this clip that I actually recently saw of this woman who's getting a divorce. And she is crying about how much it costs. They expect for the man to hold the tab, even though they're walking away. And once again, all of these divorces are not from abusive relationships, for infidelity. A lot of them are not. It's just the fact that they just feel like they woke up one day and felt like they deserve more. That, that their worth is more than what they have. Look at this. This is an example.
Mystery that fights between couples can go south really quick.
Oh, not this one. That was the wrong clip, y'all. Which I'll be reacting to that too. Look at this, because this is crazy. But they want you to bear the brunt of them leaving. And even when they leave, they still complain about what things cost, and they want you to pay for it. That's crazy. And some of them still want you to take care of them when they decide to leave. And then they mad when you don't.
because my divorce lawyer requested another 4K, and like I think in the past year and a half I spent like $25,000, and it's not easy. Like my ex keeps like prolonging this divorce because he wants my dad to sell his house so he can get money from it. Like the whole custody plan and everything is like all set and done, and it just sucks because I'm like a single mom and I work my ass off, and I don't like, it's not like that guy gives me child support. It's not like he even offers to buy a diaper box or a box of milk for my son, even though that's his son too. He only messages us on the days that he gets to have Yusuf, which is like once every Sunday, every other week. Other than that, it goes like no contact, no how is our son, no nothing. It's like me raising our kid by myself, and to like work my ass off and like pay another $4,000 just to like have this divorce somewhat be finished. It's so hard. Not only is divorce emotionally draining, it's also financially draining. And I feel like I wish like the court system like had a thing for people who was like bullshitting around and would just go straight to the point, because my ex is like trying to do his best to prolong this and juice this, even though he gets like literally nothing out of it. Divorce sucks. This is the reality. And now I have to suck it up and go downstairs with a smile and act like not fucking sad. Wish me luck.
Question that I'm always getting asked as a Texas family law attorney is, how much is my divorce going to cost me? Now, a lot of family law attorneys, including myself, charge per hour. So how much a divorce is going to cost you is going to be contingent on the fact of how many hours I have to put into your case. For example, I just got out of court to finalize what we call an uncontested divorce, meaning that nothing was fought out in this divorce. The decree to their divorce was signed by both the parties and they were in agreement of everything. They had already resolved how the property was going to be divided. Other couples, if they have kids, they'll figure out what the custody schedule is going to look like, child support agreements, etc., etc. So in that case, because they don't need attorneys negotiating what they want for them and they're able to resolve the issues on their own, the divorce was so affordable. And that's going to be the difference maker between a $3,000 divorce and a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $50,000 divorce.
What's the most expensive divorce you've ever seen or been involved in?
Got paid $3 million from one of my clients over the course of 4 years. That's the most expensive one I've ever personally been involved in. The other side in that case paid $5 million across 4 law firms, kept picking them off one at a time. And every time she would get a negative outcome, she would fire her lawyers and hire new ones. I was on it from the beginning all the way to the end. She spent $5 million. My client spent $3 million, plus another $1 million or so each in expert fees. It was, by the time it was all said and done, about a $12 million divorce.
How it feels being in love with someone where they don't do anything wrong, but they also don't love the way that you want to be loved. Someone was asking me about that. You know, it's confusing because there's no big problem to point to, right? They're kind. They show up. They don't hurt you on purpose. So you keep asking yourself, why do I still feel lonely? You start shrinking your needs. You tell yourself you're asking for too much. You explain away the ache because technically they're a good person, but love isn't just about intentions. Love is about impact.
Well, what I would say to the little bit that she's saying, because this video was interesting, and I think I saw this before. I think when you have this type of mentality, what she's expressing right here, I think, and this is just my thought, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Please like the stream. I think when you're in a relationship and you feel lost or unseen, and this you don't feel or you can't accept the way the person loves you, is because you deeply, truly don't love them. That's my thoughts on it. Because when you love somebody, you're willing to compromise, you're willing to accept certain things about them that you may not like, as long as you know that even people who are not the best of people and do some crazy shit, when the person loves them, they look over all of that. They look over things that you may do that are kind of messed up. It's unconditional. They still love you anyway. They still love you past the things that you are doing that may be wrong. They still love you. So to me, when you're with somebody and they are doing things right and they're, showing you love and they're supportive and they're doing, a man is, or a woman or whoever it is doing the things that they need to do, but somehow you still feeling lonely and you still feeling lost and you're not happy and satisfied with them and you're trying to find a problem because you don't really love them. That's it. And I know that may be hard for some people to accept, but it's the truth, in my opinion. You don't really love them. So no matter what they do, you're never going to be satisfied with them. No matter how they show up, you're never going to be satisfied, because if you really love somebody, right? And they're showing you love and they're doing things, but it's not quite the way you might think it should be. You're willing to overlook that because you genuinely love that person. And a lot of times you don't see no wrong. You're like, oh yeah, you still are supportive of that person because you truly love them and you love them for who they are, not who you expect them to be. When you're looking for a specific pattern of a way a person should be and how you want to be, and you're comparing them to somebody else that you actually loved, that could be the problem. And I think a lot of people do that. You're measuring up how even though he's a good dude, even though he's showing up and he's doing what he's supposed to do, you still gonna have problems with him because it doesn't measure up to what you may have experienced in the past or somebody that you actually love. And you're trying to compare and you want this person to be like that person. That could be one reason, that you're trying to compare them to somebody that you actually loved and how they loved you and you like them more. So you want this person to be like that person, or you just don't really love them and you don't know how to tell them because they are a nice person and they're doing the things right and you can't find anything wrong, but you just are not in love with them. You don't love them like that. And that's what the real deal is. And so you're trying to find ways to compromise with the person to say, damn, I know this is a good man. I don't want to let him go, but you just don't love him like that. And and you should leave him alone, because you're going to always find problems with the man. You're going to always see something wrong. You're going to always try to compare him and try to create a problem when there's not a problem, because you don't love him like that. And I think that is the real truth that a lot of people don't want to accept, but it's the truth to me. I just think you need to leave that person alone. Successful MD says dream man equals a good pookie equals you're dreaming. Thank you, Successful MD. Yeah, I just think you really don't want to be with that person. That's not somebody you really want to be with. Anytime you're with somebody and they're doing the right things and they're showing up for you, but you still can't appreciate it and you can't, wrap your brain around the fact that this is a good person and you just love that person for who they are. You're trying to make something else out of it. You don't really care for that person. You don't. You just know that they're a good person. You just don't want them. And then you go on this quest to find somebody that has the specific love that you're looking for. And then when you might find a glimpse of that, and then they're horrible people and they treat you bad and do all the other things that you don't want to you, but they give you a little glimpse of what you deem love is. A lot of people are just so mentally disturbed. They don't know what love really is. They don't recognize it when it shows up. And so when it does show up, you can't wrap your brain around it. You can't understand what this is because you've never seen it. You just have an idea, or you've watched enough movies and you believe it's supposed to look a certain way. And then when it's there, you can't accept it. The same way I posted that video about that lady who had the man who supported her and stayed there with her through brain surgery. And she's still trying to find out, trying to still look for some type of, I don't know, more from the man, when you should be honoring this man for being there and supporting you and loving you, but you can't see past that. You're looking for the more expectations of what society and what people told you how he should show up and what he should do, and the ways that he's showing up should be enough. But you can't see that because everything is, what's right is wrong and what's wrong is right nowadays. So a lot of these people are looking for something specific. And if they don't find it, that if you're not specifically what they're looking for, they think it's not worthy and they don't think it's good, when you are probably showing them more than that little specific thing and showing up for them in ways that nobody else will probably ever will. And they walk right past that, miss it completely. It's crazy, but let's continue.
And when you keep leaving conversations feeling unseen, unchosen, or emotionally hungry, yeah, that matters. You're not ungrateful for wanting more. You're not dramatic for needing affection and consistency or reassurance in the way your heart understands it. Sometimes the truth is this: they love you the best way they know how. And you need to be loved the way you actually feel it. At least some people do. That doesn't make either of you bad. It just makes you honest. And honesty is where clarity begins.
I think it makes you delusional, because if you need somebody to love you the way you feel, with women, your feelings change throughout the day, daily. Your feelings change. 1 minute you want this, 1 minute you don't. If a man shows up the way you want, then you move the goalpost. Then you want it a different way, and then you want them to do this, and if they don't do it quite like you want to do it, oh, that's a problem. And then you want it a different way. So no, I think that's delusional. I think women are delusional. I think a lot of women are delusional, baby. Delusional. And this is the problem. I think there are men out here who are delusional too. I think there are men out here who don't get it right and looking for something superficial too. But I see way more delusional women who really believe the foolishness that is coming out of their mouth. And this is why a lot of them are by themselves, because they don't really understand what a good man is. And they're missing it. They're missing it. And they keep looking for this specific superficial thing, the specific thing they're going to know it when they see it and when they feel it. And they never really come across it. And what they think that is, it's usually found in a toxic man who's going to knock their head between the wash and the dryer. This is why they come to the conclusion that there aren't any good men out here, because you keep going off of this feeling, off of what you think a man should, how he should show up and what he should be on this, based on your feelings. And a lot of times that is a skewed way of thinking, and you're not seeing things clearly, as opposed to looking at a man for who he is, how he showed up for you, not what you feel, not what you think, but what he's actually showing you. Everything that a man shows you, who cares for you, love you, it doesn't always feel like you think it should feel. It doesn't always show up the way you think it should show up. That's the thing. We get in our feelings and we be wrong a lot of times. We look at a man and want him to move exactly the way we think he should move and do things the way we feel and think he should. And that don't work like that. You got to accept the man for who he is. If you got a good man and he's doing the things and he's doing what's necessary for you, you got to learn to accept him for that and love him the way that he's loving you, and stop having these superficial feelings and expectations of what you think he should do. Stop letting that ruin your relationship. Relationships are not movies. They're not sound bites. They're not little snippets. They're not what you see on TV. And women got to get their heads out of that way of thinking, because if you want something for real, you gonna end up not having it with that type of mindset. And this is what we see. And it's crazy, and it's funny that they don't get it. I just be like, I'd be like, damn, you just beating a dead horse. They're never gonna get it. Latrell M, thank you once again for the super chat. Says love is an action, not a feeling. Oh my God. You listen. Say that 1,000 times. It's what you do, not what you say. Because people say all kind of shit and they don't ever follow through. If you have somebody who's intentional and they're acting on the things that they say they want you, they commit to you. They marry you. They want a family with you. Y'all have that said family. They take care of you because that's what they want to do. And you are a part of their plan because they chose you. He's showing up. He's doing the things that he needs to do. He's not neglecting you. He's not neglecting his family. He may not have everything right. He may not be, do everything the way you feel he should, but he's showing up and he's doing the work and he's consistent and he is there. But it may not look the way you think it should look as a woman and feel, because it may not look like what you see on TikTok or Instagram. He may not be on you all day, hugging you all day and just telling you he loves you 24/7. I love you, but he tells you he loves you, shows affection. He's there. He shows in his actions and his words, but he's not sitting by you kumbayaing all day and crying and showing you his emotions and showing you his feelings, and he's showing you all this all day and sitting there, and talking to you like he's one of the girls. Like, come on. That's what a lot of women think, that they want men to act like women. He's a man. And if he's shown you his consistency and his love by his actions over a period of years, and he's been there, he's supportive, he ain't run off. He hasn't neglected you. Baby, you better keep that man and stop going with your feelings and thinking that you're going to find something better. And this is where a lot of these women mess up, Tia Mowry and many others. And then you go out here looking for this superficial idea of what you feel and think he should be, and you never find it. Thank you, Latrell. Once again, I appreciate you. So yeah, a lot of people mess up. They mess up, and I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of men who say, they think they met the one years ago and they weren't ready for it and they fumbled that and now they can't find nobody. So it happens on both sides. But I really think women, because we are more emotional and we're in our feelings, we really go off our feelings and emotions a lot. And that's a mistake that a lot of women make, and I've been there. I've been emotional and what I feel, but I'll tell my emotions to my husband. I'll tell him, look, I feel like this. He was like, well, I don't think nothing like that. Your feelings are wrong. And he'll tell me. Sometimes it's funny, but he'll tell me, well, you need to let that go because your feelings are wrong. But we want our feelings to be validated. But how are you going to validate something that is untrue? How are you going to tell somebody, I feel like you don't like this or you don't want to do this, instead of saying, hey, do you like to asking the question? Your feelings can't be validated if you're wrong. Your feelings can't be wrong. Instead of going in with your feelings, you should say, hey, do you like this? Or do you like that? Or ask the question, not go in talking about your feelings to a person as if your feelings are factual and you want him to validate something that is not factual based off of him, when he can simply tell you, no, that's not it. You're wrong. You're off on it. No, that's not, that ain't right. You feel like that, but that's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's like crazy. But there are women who literally go off of that. Well, I feel like this and this is what I feel and my feelings aren't valid. You want somebody to validate something that is untrue just because you feel that certain way? Come on now. But it's crazy. But I think it ruins potential relationships. I think it would ruin actual relationships. And then these women go off thinking that the grass is green on the other side and they're going to find something better, somebody more emotional, somebody more in tune with their feelings and what they feel and what they believe. And then you end up by yourself, because in real life, that is not how men operate. And that is not, something that is realistic, in my opinion, to think that your feelings are going to be, that you're going to find a man who is going to validate your feelings all the time and provide you with this emotional response to everything that you feel. That'll be a psychopath. And do you want a psychopath? No, I don't think so. I don't want somebody who's going to go off my feelings, even though my feelings are shitty. I could feel terrible. I want you to validate my terrible feelings. I want you to say, I feel like, like shit today. Do you agree? You know what I mean? That sounds like a psychopath. That sounds like a crazy person. Yes, honey. You want a man to sit there and say, yes, you feel shitty today. You know what? You're right. You do feel shitty and you look shitty today. Like, what kind of shit is that? All right, that doesn't make any sense. So he got to be there to make you feel good all day about bullshit? Don't make no sense. Anyway, y'all, I got to get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap. One life to live. Exactly. Who said that? Dari Hardaway. One life to live. That's what it reminded me of, a soap opera. Soap opera TV, these melodramatic TV shows and movies and stuff. These people, these dramas, these people are taking this right off the TV screen. They really think that life's supposed to be like that. That is really a movie. That men's supposed to be like the men in the movies. You know what I mean? It's a fairy tale. And they're not fairy tale women, but they want you to treat them as such. It's not realistic. It's not real. I want any woman watching to understand that shit is not real. And y'all are not those kind of women. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It's unreal. It's not realistic. And I think you're going to realize it one way or another. It's not wrong to expect certain things from a person. It's not wrong to have standards. It's not wrong to have certain standards in life, but you got to understand what is realistic and what is not. There is a line that you draw between what is realistic and what is not. And what you're going to find, and you're going to realize in life when you're looking for these superficial things or unrealistic things, that they doesn't exist. And you're going to how long you going to keep running and chasing something that doesn't exist? And then how old are you going to be until you actually realize, damn, I've been chasing the ghost? How long is it going to take for you to realize that what you're looking for just doesn't exist, and you should accept if you come in contact with a person who actually cares and loves you and want to be there for you, but he's not as emotional or he doesn't do this, do that. At what point do you realize that you can't change people, that you accept the good of a person, you accept all of a person, you know, their flaws and all, just as much as you want them to accept you and your flaws, because you're not perfect. You may not do everything that he wants, but see, they don't like to look at that. Y'all don't, women walk and talk as if they're perfect. When you know your toes have all them knots on them and they're crooked and you know what I mean, your feet is jacked up. You know that one boob may be longer than the other. You know that some of y'all don't have no hair. Like, you know what I mean? You know that you have a mustache that you got to shave every month. You know that one arm may be longer than the other. You know that you are flawed, but you expect him to, you know you're overweight. You know you have some dilemmas, some flaws, but you want him to accept you and love you for who you are, but you can't accept him and love him for who he is. You want him to change and acquiesce to everything that you want him to be perfect, but you know you're not perfect. You know you got a lot of issues. But, oh, he's supposed to look past yours, but you can't look past his and accept him for being a good man, just as he can look past your flaws and say, but you know what? This is a good woman. I love her. Flaws and all. I love her to pieces. Yeah, she's a little cuckoo, or yeah, she's a little crooked. Yeah, her head might be crooked. Maybe her head might be big. Yeah, she got a big knot on the back of her head. Or maybe, you know, she got some other shit going on. One leg is longer than the other, but you love her because you chose to love her. Because overall, even beyond the flaws, she still is a good person and she's lovable. Yeah, but even with her flaws. Why is it easier for men to do that, but women can't do that for the man? You try to change him and shape shift him and make him into something that you've seen on TV. You know, it's just stupid. And that's why I say women are the most delusional, because you want a man. How many times have we heard women say, except if you can't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best? But y'all want to accept a man at his worst and wait for him until he's at his best. Y'all won't do that. Y'all want him at the finish line. He got to be there. You know, you find a good man, but oh, he's too short. He ain't good enough. He's a good man, but you've given Pookie and Ray Ray baby after baby, and he was never good enough. But you didn't have any standards, but now you do. So now you want the most from this man, and now, but you're not as desirable as you could be for him. So, but then when men say, nah, I want a woman that I want no obese woman. I want a woman that's fit. They mad. Why would you want a little skinny, itty bitty woman? Why you want this? Because that's what he's attracted to, boo. Just like you attracted to a tall man with money. So I think a lot of women got to get their priorities straight, because they see it's not working for them, and they'll go there. They seem to be willing to go down, baby, to the grave with this foolishness. And if you are, that's your business. But it's so much that you're missing out on, and they don't see it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you want to stop thinking that a man got to be at the best and have everything straight, everything the way you want it, but you not everything that he wants. And Lord. Let a man say, oh, there was a situation where the man said he would marry the woman if she lost weight. She lost the weight. He married her. But oh my God, all the pushback he got from the women. Now, why would you want it? Because he want a fit woman, and he like her enough to even give her that option. Hey, lose weight, I'll marry you. Because I want a fit woman. I like you. Okay, you got potential. The same way a woman could tell a man, you got to level up. You got to get some money and I'll be with you. Like, come on, y'all got to stop with this shit, because this ain't working and it ain't healthy. You know, you can't expect all this from a man and you're not willing to do anything that he wants. That's crazy. He has to be the top tier, and you could just be the bottom on the bottom shelf. But you think you're top tier. You believe and you feel you're top tier, but you're really not. But he actually got to be that. Or he, you know, if not, if you don't dot every I and cross every T, he's not good enough. But you're low key. He looking at you like, damn, I see some, but he can't say nothing. He can't say, damn, she ain't really my type. But she walking around like she confident. Yeah, she confident. She got a good job, make good money, but she wants you to pay all the bills. So she ain't gonna contribute nothing. And then I'm not that attracted to her, but she decent. It's like they gotta work around. They gotta convince themselves that she might be okay. You shouldn't have to do that as a man. You shouldn't have to convince yourself to accept somebody that you don't want. But then she got all these expectations for you. It's one-sided. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate everybody who supported the channel in any way by liking, Super Chat, Cash App. I appreciate y'all for the support. Make sure you guys hit the like on your way out. Also, make sure you are watching the videos that are posted on the channel, y'all. Make sure you go over and leave a like, leave a comment, let me know it's real, to continuously support the channel. We're trying to, push the channel in the algorithm, so make sure you are doing that as much as possible. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching. Thank y'all once again for being here and for supporting and continuing to rock with me. I appreciate y'all so much. Listen, I will be back really, really soon. Thank y'all once again. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I got to get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all once again. I love you guys. Y'all be safe. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Mwah. Later.
It's DeeDee's Reactions. DeeDee's Reactions. I hope you enjoy the show. Like, share, subscribe. You know it's a vibe. Like, share, subscribe. 'Cause you know it's a vibe. It's DeeDee's Reactions. Tell a friend, it's DeeDee's Reactions. It's DeeDee's Reactions. DeeDee's Reactions. Later. Later. It's DeeDee's Reactions.